Hi, this is Antminer Repair. We're right in the middle of a video testing voltages of the board. So if you're just getting to this video and don't know where we came from because my recording got cut off and I had to restart it, you ought to go back and watch part one. So go ahead and search my channel and find part one of this video. And I think that'll explain what we're doing. We were right in the middle of checking out the clock signal on the lines going out. So I'm going to turn back on my meter, make sure you can read it. I'm going to put this plug on the clock signal, and I'm checking the voltage out from this chip. So I ground it to that, and I hit test, and I wait. And I should get about 0.8 for this usually. It's probably okay if it's a little more. Nope, didn't get anything there. Should. Maybe I didn't have my probe in there. Yeah, that's what it was. Sorry about that. Let's try again. You have to be careful because if you just don't have something right, it'll show bad voltage. You have to test it over and over again until you get it right. I think that was 0.8. I didn't see it though. Sorry, I was looking at something else. Let's go for a third time. It happens really fast. Let me see, get that puppy in there. Yeah, I didn't see it again, but I can't tell. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's okay going in there because I kind of already know this guy's bad. So let me now start with this chip. Basically, I have determined that this chip is okay as it pumps its data out. I want to see if this chip is okay as it receives the data. Remember, I don't care about this last line, the farthest one out. That was the data line. So we're going to start with the first one in. And I'm going to ground it there. Let me see if I can show you what I'm doing here. Maybe switch these guys. All right, so I have that like that, and I hit test. And I should see some voltage. .7. So that could be right. I'm going to go back to this chip and test it again and see what's coming out of the chip. It should match or be close to matching. So we'll wait for that. So there's 1.7. That's a clean signal out. So, and it's running crazy again. That's fine. If I look at this other one, right here, if I choose another chip in the same condition, and since I went crazy, I might have to reboot again. This tester's kind of a pain. You'd think we could write a better way to do this, but I'm causing the chips problem. Let me see if it'll do it, otherwise I have to reboot this. So whenever you have any doubt, go to the other chip that's kind of in the same position on another branch and look what it's getting. And again, I have to reboot. It's not behaving well. So let me go reboot the tester. That is right there. So turn it off, turn it on, hang on. Imagine doing the whole board, four pins to check on each side. It takes a long time. I just want to show you the voltage going into here should be 1.7, or this guy has 1.7, so this one should be 1.7. So that's one strike against this card, that this last port, it's not 1.7 going in. So let's just make sure of that. I'll tell you when it reboots. It's working on it. It takes a while to reboot. Now, they don't publish what voltage is supposed to be going in and out of these. So you get a board that's working and you start testing it, you'll get a feel for what the voltage is to be. I know what I'm kind of used to. All right. So this is, I'm not suspecting, Jesus, things get wound up. I'm not suspecting this chip, but let's check out that port with this chip grounded and see what the voltage is. I'm going to hit test. And hopefully it doesn't freak out and say register. I can't show you the output, but it says ASIC register. Or if for some reason I'm causing havoc with its register. Yeah, it just did it. Sorry. I'm going to reboot again. You know, the problem is I don't have the patience, so I look away. It's captured on video, but I can't go back and play the video I just recorded, so it's kind of hard. Sorry I have to watch this again, guys. Just want to make sure it showed. I'll keep my eyes firmly focused on the voltmeter. I'll tell you when it's coming up. Okay, on power coming in here. Be there. Still booting. Getting close. It probably wants to talk to the power supply when that happens, and it can't, so it's not used to working this way. All right, here we go. Let's watch the voltage leaving this. Just press test. Yeah, it's not very much voltage. For some reason, my tester stopped working. Let's see if this is going out okay. Because I tested this early as 1.7, so something's changed. Either I need to reboot everything to power off the board. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Let me power off the board. Second. Let's power back on the board. Let me try testing again here, see if that's it. I'm really new to, I'm going to go back to the original one. I'm really new to this setup for the tester, so all right, we'll see. It's talking to the board. No, it's not showing power going in. That had power before. So something else is wrong. Let me test RO going out of this chip. Yeah, 1.6. Okay. I'm really interested in the clock on this guy. Let's jump up to the clock signal at the very end. Get it back in before it sends the voltage through. Think I made it? So 2.2 volts on the clock signal. That's pretty high. Let's check out this guy. One next to the clock signal. So you get a feel for how I test this. I'm just looking at the voltages going in and make sure the voltages go out. So two volts on each of these guys going in. Let's poke around what's coming out. So here's the clock signal. Now I'm checking the leaving chip 7. Here's the clock signal. Should be at least 0.8. 0.4. Did you see that? So I've got 2.2 volts coming into the chip this way. And then I'm going to test it again. You always test it a couple times. I'm going to try it again. It says I only have 0.4 leaving. Yeah, that was a good measurement. So 0.4 will not run the clock. The output of this chip, for some reason, either the legs aren't good soldered on, or there's a problem with the chip on the clock is bad. Let's check this other guy that I couldn't get any voltage in, maybe see what he's doing. 0.3. See, he should be 1.7 coming out of here. Probably not because I don't have him coming in. Let me check coming in one more time. It's the one that I didn't like the signal coming in. Maybe it's just bad. I think it was 2 volts coming in and 0.3 leaving. Yeah, look at that. 2.2 volts coming in. Let's measure this guy again. Here we go. Yeah, not even 0.4. Okay, so we know those two are really sufficient. The next step, I'm assuming that this guy's getting the voltage and it's going here. So I'm really calling this chip bad. Just for the sake of it, let's look at the RO port. Now the RO port's going the other way. So this is feeding this chip on this side. Let's see what's coming in on this chip. So this is the one that goes backwards. So this is the input side of that chip. So we have 1.7 coming in, and it went flaky on me again. Let's see if it's going to stop. Hopefully that works. And then I'm going to show what the output of that is. The output of this chip. Hopefully it'll work. .6, so not quite 1.7. So this guy isn't quite as much. Now, for the sake of it, I ignore this BI one, but this one should be having voltage going through it too. So let's look what's coming out and I'll measure the input again. So I want the next to the last one on the right side here. So it's got 1.7 going out. So he got re-energized out of here on the way out. If I do the same thing up here and look at it coming in, and now it has 1.7 coming in on the chip here. If I do the same thing, see if I get 1.7 on this chip. 0.8. So 1.7 going out, 1.8 in, 1.7 going out. There's some real disparity. So I had already done this. I guess now what I should do is show you what a working chip looks like. So maybe let's just choose, I think this guy's okay in the middle. So I'm calling this chip bad right here, for sure. So now, so we're going this way, this way. So this is where the 4 paths are coming down this way and the 1 path is going back up. So let's focus on this chip and just measure the voltage on the other side. So first I'm going to measure the 4 coming down. Well, it's really 3 because I ignore 1. And I think that's the BI signal right there. This is the BI signal. Probably doesn't matter, but let's check it out. And hopefully I don't need to reboot this tester. 1.7 volts, pretty clean. Let me move on to the next port. Should I have my testing probe in there? Hold on, I'm making sure I can see. So these are the inputs. .7 coming in on that. So I've got the most left and the left. The middle one is what's coming out of the chip from the other way. Let's see what it's producing. It's producing 1.7. So the first 3 of these guys have good signal. 2 coming in, 1 going out. Let's see the other one coming in now. This is the reset, I think. I didn't get anything. Maybe the way I'm probing here. Yeah, for some reason I'm not getting it. I don't know if that's the one I don't want to read. Let's look at the farthest one. I think this is the clock, if I'm not mistaken. One side or the other is a clock, and I just look at them all, and I figure out which one I want to focus, then I check which one it is. The clock should be run at 0.8. Yeah, maybe I fried something. I think that's that. Well, anyway, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 good voltages coming in. Let's look at what's coming out. So I want to choose the other one. So this first one I had coming in was the one on the farthest left. It had 1.7 coming in. Let's see what's coming out. Because if it's a clock signal, it's okay. Depends on which mode it is. It should have something coming out. Unless my tester's not doing it. Oh yeah, I just got this weird error. Hang on, reboot tester. I'll do that right now. Reboot board. So that's why I want to get the Russian tester for this work. It scans everything, and it has a GUI that tells you which chips are bad, and I don't have to have a lot of power on it. And I'm not so sure that I'm supplying enough power right here. I'm going to make a different setup so I know that it's not a clip, because on the other tester I had clips and it wouldn't work. I actually have bars that fit in there, and I'm going to make a power cord for inside here. I just didn't have time for this video. So we're almost done. I'm just going to check the output of this chip coming out. It should be pretty good. I haven't fully tested the chip. It might be bad, but I don't think so. I think if the outside port of this didn't have any, that would be the inside here and the inside here. Yeah, it should have been clock signal coming through there. Could be that this guy's messing with the clock signal, doesn't get here though too. That's very well could be. All right, let's try again. Let's see what's coming through here. So I got farthest to the left and grounding. Oh no, it's freaking out. Whoop, I didn't see what voltage it did. Probably nothing, so maybe that's the weird one. Yeah, I guess maybe it's not dependable because of this guy. Let's try this again. I guess I could show you one of these. Let's see if that works. .7's coming out. That's good. Let's switch over here. This guy's over here is the same mode as before the problems we hit. I wanted to show you a good one, but I think you get the idea of how I test. I test it coming into the chip, test it leaving. If they're not the same or very similar or similar to other chips, I identify this as bad. I think I'll leave it at that, but just for the sake of it, I think this is clock, not positive. Oop, come on. It's hard doing this one-handed. Yeah, 0.8, 0.9, that's good for the clock. So clock usually sits around 0.8, except in a different mode, I'm not sure, coming back. All right, so I'm gonna stop here, but that's what I do. I spend a lot of time in there and I test it over and over and over again. Sometimes I'll set it down and I'll come back another day just to make sure I'm set up. I test it again. Before I ever remove a chip, I test it several times over and over and consider different things on it before I replace the chip. So I hope that helps you guys, get you started. Much easier to do without the heat sinks, but don't let the machine hash. I wouldn't hook this up to an Antminer and let it hash with these guys off. They'll fry within seconds. They'll get hot and they'll explode out the side. Trust me, I know, because I did it. So I'm very careful about what I do. If you have to test them inside these heat sinks, it's okay to use the heat sink as your ground too. Okay. All right, I hope that helps you guys. I hope that answered your questions about that. Sorry, it's not so clear here because I don't know what happens after this guy runs through what he's going to do. It might be messing me up here, okay? All right, so that's what I do. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry about the cutoff, the abrupt cutoff for the last video. It just stopped and I'll try to fix that later. All right. Thank you again.